Alright guys, the Veto spring promotion has ended, and what in the world would I find to get this year? So, anyway, I looked at bags for a long time because I have so many Veto bags. Full disclosure, not paid, not sent a bag free. I bought it just like anyone else would buy it. That's how I've bought all but maybe a couple of my Veto bags. I've bought exactly what I wanted. Veto has had nothing to do with it whatsoever. So I'm not influenced at all by Veto. So anyway, I just like their bags. And I have so many of them at this point that it was difficult this year. It was honestly difficult last year too. And I actually made a kind of funny mistake from last year and bought the same bag 2 times, and I now have 2 of them. 2 of the one that I bought from last year. So anyway, this bag looked interesting, and that's literally why I got it. It looked interesting, and I wanted the free one. The free one is kind of what I really wanted, so I spent a good while just trying to find a bag that I would actually use for something, because everything I have right now is working so well. I've kind of moved into, I'm using 2 TP bags. I have one that's a blackout. I think it's an XD or something like that, blackout bag in the truck. And then I have a smaller one also in there. And then everything else is running in the wheeler bag, the big wheel bag. I have actually really loved that setup. I know some people were curious how I would end up liking that, and it turns out I like it a lot. I'm a big fan of my grab and go stuff. So for my little service calls, a lot of times that big wheeler bag, I just have the front dropped open in the back seat. I can reach back there when I pull in a place. I can grab my screwdriver, wrench, whatever I need. A lot of the jobs I go on, I'm very aware of what I'm walking into. And so walking in, I will already have the tools I need in a little set. Like the little pockets in the bag have specific job sets now. So I can just grab what I want and roll right in, and I don't have to carry a whole bag at all. Now these little bags, I kind of do want to carry a little bit because this is small enough to be pretty cool. So anyway, I actually have 2. I got another one over here on the bench that we will open in another video. But this bag, well, we should say what it is, right? I've been all bad about just turning it around on you. This is the SPMC. And literally what I said is the reason I got it. I wanted something different so that I can work it into my workflow and just see how I would use a bag like this. I got so many now that I need to get creative in order to find something else that might be a game changer for me that I don't even know yet. So this bag is the one that comes with the little pouches that go on the side. So I run M12 Milwaukee a lot for an impact, and that's why I wanted one with this. I thought this was just the coolest thing. So little magnetic deal, and I assume I can stick this on whichever side of the bag I want. Zip it right down in there like that. Sits right there on the side of the bag. Has a tape clip on it. Has a little restraint if you want to put a restraint over the top and lock it down. Or you can just push that right down in there like it was and ignore it, which is probably what I'm going to do 99% of the time. So then if you don't want a big bag, you can just pull these right off. Or you could grab this right off and stick it in your pocket, which is another thing I like. You could stick this. You could just get it right in your back pocket. I assume I can. Stick it right in my back pocket and have my impact right there along with whatever tools. And man, that with those magnets, that's crazy how good that sticks. And yes, those are block loader pants there. And man, they look rough. I've been plumbing stuff all day. So laying up under a sink most of the day. Those magnets latched onto that pocket mighty good. That's impressive. So that fits on the bag. There's nothing else here other than the slot for this. So if you wanted to stick something there, you could if you didn't have this here. But it's quite obviously made for this. You've got a couple little bit pockets right here in the back. You've got a couple more here in the front. Looks like just one big single and then a tape clip out here on the outside. So you could put a couple of your most common bits here. Me, it'd probably be like a flip Phillips T25, and then the other one would be a Malco, you know, 1/4 5/16 right there. That would give you a good bit of what you need for a lot of service work in just a quick grab and go. Now, I'll build this out, we'll use it, and I'll show you guys what I end up putting in it at the end. But this is just kind of an overview tour. That front is super light. That's kind of cool. Velcro right here on the top, so when you close this up, you wouldn't have to run the zippers like you normally don't on most Veto bags. But you know what? I kind of like this drop open in the front a little better maybe than the flip over the back. That's handy right there. So here down in the very front, we have another pocket here, and it has your normal Veto deal where you have all these little bitty loops down in here for the bits that you will definitely not remember what you have inside there since you can't see them. But I like to keep, you know, some drill bits and then a miscellaneous of my longer bits usually so I can actually see what I want. I like my bits to stick up pretty good. So if you can get your 3-inch, 4-inch long bits, I like those down in there. Grab them out, use them in your impact. So kind of a slick little deal there. This side, same story, but you have this little pouch right here for this side. And this one has the same deal, the magnetic, and it has this like almost anti-slip stuff on here. So that's no wonder that stuck really good. So this would be like your little bitty service pouch where you could literally grab just this pouch to do a job, or grab this and the one on the other side, or the whole bag if you have to. But this kind of thing is super handy because you can stick your screwdrivers in here, stick a couple screwdrivers. There's my little screwdriver canister from KC Tool. But then have your pliers here, your pliers here if you need to. You have your electrical pliers, have you something else there. Maybe your side cutters, something like that, and a tape clip. And it has obviously even more. If you wanted to carry multiple things, probably stick an electrical tester, Phillips slotted, you know, little stuff like that. And then you have your little D-rings, one on each side. So if you have little parts bags, you could hang them off of this. Anything to make just a run into a job type little kit. That's kind of what this little... There's nothing to it. I mean, this is the size of your hand and size of my hand, which is not huge. But anyway, that's a slick little deal, and it'll go right on the side of the bag right here, just like that. Now you're kind of building out to a kind of full-size little tool bag here. Now, since we're still going around the outside, the back has your smaller tablet holder here. This is not going to hold my iPad Pro or anything like that, but it probably holds a standard iPad. You'll have to look to see that. If you need dimensions on something like that, comment down there, let me know. I try to measure things, whatever I can do, show you pictures. I can put, you know, Messenger, whatever you need to do to show you what you can do with a bag. But 2 little D-rings here on the back, and of course, your little hook. So if you're working on some equipment, you need to hang it up. It's a very lightweight hook right there too, and it will just tuck right back down in when you're done with it and be gone just like that. So you can hang your bag on the side of a condenser, anything like that, and be able to work right out of your bag and see everything that you need to. The front of the flap has a nice little pouch right here. This, okay, so I'm curious now because the way I opened that up just now, look at that. So your hand goes all the way through. So whatever you put in this pouch, you can access from the front or the inside. It's a zipper to the top and bottom of the same compartment. I usually put stuff like a handful of different sizes of wire nuts, some longer outlet extension screws, a few like the screws you need for ceiling fan mounting, that type of stuff. I just keep miscellaneous handful of all that kind of stuff in there. Some of the little compression fittings for the electrical panels, anything that I need like that. Just a mix of it in here. So I'm not in a job and need one little part and have to run all the way out to the truck. There's probably one in here as long as I haven't forgotten to replace it. So inside the bag here, this is another one of those bags where you can pull this out with a couple of snaps and do the V-swap on it. So they will have other panels available for this bag should you want them. But this is the one that it came with. Now that we have that out, it's just an open compartment. So if you worked mainly with big tools, you could literally run it like this. Or you could probably stick a couple of Vera things in here on the Velcro, but you got a nice open pocket on this side too to put, you know, usually I can put a nice size pliers wrench or something like a 250 here or here and a Cobra, and they'll slide in and fit that round top of the bag with the jaws perfectly. Works great. So the little V-swap that it comes with, though, is kind of the normal one. You see you got your Velcro all the way down the back, your snaps to really secure it, and then 4 loops here for screwdrivers. You know, you can kind of see how they fit, just like we did with the other stuff. The tops of the Veras and stuff will pop right in, and it holds really nicely in that sort of thing. This all gets a little crowded sometimes, though, so you can get one that doesn't have these and just has these pouches and stuff like that if you want to. They have all kinds of panels, meter panels, all that. So if you wanted to stick a meter in here, I can usually fit like one of my little Fluke clamp meters in one of these and still keep screwdrivers behind it, and that'll work pretty good. Up top, you got your little Velcro spot right here. It's nice if you got an extra set of leads or some stuff like that you need to store. And then a lot of times I use this for my actual bit storage, where I know you have bit storage in the front. I like these because I can stick a few of my most used bits just right across here, and they'll stick in that Velcro and the tip's sticking out, and I can see exactly what I have when I open my bag. Then if you go to swap one of these, slide it right down in all the way to the bottom of the bag, and then just line up your snaps, snap them in right there, and press it into place, and you have your bag back like you want it. With this in here, I mean, you can just keep sticking stuff all across in front of that if you want to, and just kind of simulates more pockets than it has. So these bags are very, very easy to way overload. So be mindful you don't do that unless you're just into carrying hernias around with you. But this little bag shouldn't be bad at all, even if you go a little overboard. This is very, very small. They've put some really nice handles on these. The rings up here and the way they're supported into the bag is just fantastic. No tape clip on the front of this, so no more of that getting a ripped thing on the front of here. Your tape clips are out on each end on those little side deals. I honestly like that better. Anytime you clip something up here, it just hangs up on stuff. So this is one handy little bag. And if I could actually remember the number of this, SPMC, that's what this is. I will link this, if I can, I will link this with the YouTube shopping thing to whatever store they have them available in. Be sure you make sure they're Veto approved retailers, because the warranties with these are fantastic. So shall we at least open the other one? Okay, so anyway, this is the freebie that came with that bag. We'll just do a real quick little tour on this. We're already getting this video out there a little longer than I planned on, but you might as well tour it. They're not exactly cheap bags, so I want you guys to know exactly what you're getting. So this is, well, what would it be called? SC45. This is the SC45. And these actually, I mean, that bag did too. These are sealed up. This isn't an open plastic bag, thankfully, so you don't get that rain damage like I got a little bit in a couple other boxes this month that I forgot to get off the porch fast enough. This little doohickey here is a big part of the reason that I went ahead and tried to find a bag I wanted to order this year. The SC45. And yes, 5-year warranty. If you ordered it on the Veto site, they register it for you. This has a big, healthy clip right here on the back, and a nice clip like that up here too. And let's see what this actually says on it. I'm always curious. 25 pounds max. Okay, so that's what that's set up for. And I believe, is this little pouch right here the same pouch that's on the side of the SPMC? I believe that it is. It is. So you understand where this is going. If you didn't want to use your M12 holder on here, you could have 2 like that if you wanted to, and you didn't need this SC45. Or you could do it any sort of way you wanted between them. These fit on all these different things. But this little bag right here, that's it without the pouch on the front. This is where it's made for that pouch to slide in, just right here. It's got D-rings here, the one we looked at there, little bitty one there, let's open this up. The back of this is like almost like their tool bag bottoms, but a little softer. It's just a rubberized plastic stuff. Okay, check this out. So this opens down like that, and it's Velcroed, so you can lay it all the way open. How awesome is that? So if you didn't want to, you could keep this Velcroed up, and you could have it like a little fold out like that. I like the idea of just going ahead and opening this thing. That's where it's at right there. So this side, very cushioned. It's got like a velvet kind of a cushioning right there. And then another big sleeve right here where you can put anything you want, obviously. And a little expansion deal that's pretty darn strong. So to get an idea of how tall this is, doesn't quite hold a full-size Vera screwdriver. Looks like maybe this smaller, this number 1, you could probably fit in there just barely. So that's how big that is. It's not just huge. That little side, the other side has 2 slots. They're 2 different sizes here. Smaller one here, larger one on this side, and then some little, almost looks like bit holder deals right in the front of it. So just a few little options, but I think they're also V-swap. So if you don't want them in there, you don't have to have them. You could take this side out and just have that. This other side does not come out though. So this is what you would have. You'd be able to open it up if you wanted to put something larger in here. They probably have some other panels for this too that might even be more useful. But that will go just right back in underneath that stuff. Press it right down and into place, and we got our V-swap back in there, and that is our little SC45 that we have our little pouch to go with. Only this pouch comes with the tape strap, and I don't know if I even mentioned that. This, knock it right over. This SPMC, I'll get it eventually. These new ones are difficult for me. So this has the tape strap up here. So same kind of thing, but that'll give you another tape strap with this little SC45. So pretty slick little setup. Really nice to get a free bag. I've almost always bought in the larger bag and gotten the tier 2 stuff. This year though, the tier 2, I don't remember what it was. I almost think I already have it. So I went for the one to get the tier 1, and I actually got 2 of these because I ordered another bag. So we'll probably open that one on another video, run through it, and then I'll do one just to show this a little bit with some more detail. But thank you guys for being here. If you have any questions about these bags, I'm not affiliated with Veto, but I'll be very happy to tell you whatever I can about the bags that I have. That's what I'm here for. Love having you guys hang out, watch my stuff. Thank y'all for being here, and I'm going to go back to work. See y'all on the next one.